Today our topic is static members of a class and message passing, and the outline is scheme, syllabus, static keyword, static variable in functions, static class objects, static member variable in class, static methods in class, and after that I will conclude the lecture. So first thing is that what is static keyword? So static is a keyword in C++ used to give special characteristics to an element, or we can say that we use static keyword for giving special characteristic to an variable. Static elements are allocated storage only once in a program lifetime in static storage area, and they have scope till the program lifetime. Static keyword can be used with the following. First, static variable in functions. Second, static class objects, static member variable in class, and static methods in class. Static variables, when used inside the function, are initialized only once and then they hold their value even through the function calls. These static variables stored on static storage area, not in stacks. So it means that we have three storage area: static storage area, stack storage area, and heap storage area. And the static variable get placed in the static storage area. Now, what is static class objects? Static class objects are also initialized using constructor like other normal objects. Assignment to 0 on using static keyword is only for primitive data type, not for user defined data types. So that means that static class objects can also be exist in the programming language, and we can create an object which has characteristic of static variables. Now, what is static data member? A data member of a class can be qualified as static. The properties of static member variable are similar to that of C static variable. A static member variable has certain special characteristics. These are: first is it is initialized to 0 when the first object of class is created. No other initialization is permitted. It means that if we want to reinitialize an static variable, then we will get an error at the compile time. Second is only one copy of that member is created for the entire class. As we know that the non-static variable uh, is uh, is used in within the class. In that case, the object has separate copy of non-static variable, but in the case of static variable, the only one copy of the static variable will be shared with the all objects. Then no other copy will be generated for the static variable. Third is it is visible only within the class, but its lifetime is the entire program. It means that if we declare a variable within a function or within a class, then it will be accessible only within that class. But the storage area allocated for that static variable will be till the program end. Static variables are normally used to maintain values common to the entire class. Suppose that we want to make a software in which we want a variable like count, and we want to share this count variable with all objects. In that case, we need to use static variable. For example, a static data member can be used as a counter that record the occurrence of all the objects. So in the next slide, you will get a program which is used, mm, which is implemented for the static data variable. So how to and that will explain you how to use static variable in program. So you can go through this program and you can run this program and you can see that what is the output of this program. So this is the slide which I have used with static variable, and you can also use this program with non-static variable because you can see the difference between static variables when we are using static variable and when we are using non-static variable. Next is static member function. Like static member variable, we can also have static member function. A member function that is declared static has the following properties. A static function can have access the only static members declared in the class. That means that if we have declared a function as static, then that static function can only include static variables. We cannot use non-static variable within the static member function. And another thing is that we used to call the member function of class using object, but static members means static data and static function can be called by using the class name. Like this syntax is that class name, scope resolution operator, and the function name. Static member functions are used to maintain a single copy of a class member function across various objects of the class. Static member function can be called either by itself, independent of any object, by using class name, or in connection with an object. The characteristic of static member functions are a static member functions can only have access to other static data members and functions declared in the same class. Second is a static member function can be called using class name with the scope resolution operator instead of object name. Third, global functions and data may be accessed by static member function. Fourth is a static member function does not have this pointer. If is there cannot be static and non-static version of the same function. Means that if we have a static member like a member function like so, and we have another static a non-static member function so, then they will not be exist. That means that we cannot have the static and non-static version of the same function. They cannot be declared as constant or volatile. We cannot declare a static member function as constant, and static member function cannot be virtual. These are the characteristics of a static member function. Now our topic is message passing. What do you mean by message passing? Just like a person is talk to one other using the communication language. In the same way in programming language, the objects are communicate to each other, and the objects communicate to each other for information exchanging. The object communicate with one another by sending and receiving information to each other. A message for an object is a request for execution of a procedure, and therefore will invoke a function in the receiving object that generate the desired result. Message passing involves specifying the name of the object, the name of the function, and the information to be sent. Message passing is nothing but sending and receiving of information by objects, same as people exchange information. So this helps in building systems that simulate real life. Following are the basic steps in message passing. First is creating classes that define object and its behavior. Next is creating objects from class definition. Third is establishing communication among objects in double OPS. Message passing involves specifying the name of objects, the name of function, and the information to be sent. So our lecture is finished now. Thank you so much.